I'm definitely not going to be the only chef to tell you that cooking Wagyu is our favourite ingredient in the kitchen. And I'm here in Morini to talk to Steve and Liz, everything Binnie Beef. Their beautiful Wagyu farm, 7,000 acres, one of the best Wagyu producers in Australia. A lot to see, a lot to do, a lot to check out. Let's go. So, Steve, I hear you're not just a blow-in here in Morini Station. You've been here for quite some time.
Yeah, look, my wife and I started here in about 2003, but previous to that, we started here in 1898.
Wow.
So, yeah, carrying on what has been worked on before.
Tell me a little bit what it takes, or the day in the life of being a farmer. You know, I come out, I see your boys and your girl out here, and is it something that you want them to take over, like to continue the legacy on?
Oh, absolutely. It's a wonderful way of life. It's challenging, but it's very peaceful as well. It's good.
Out here, you're focusing mainly on Wagyu.
Yeah, so we're 100% Wagyu, so all registered cattle. So everything's DNA verified back to Japan. We were in Herefords for 97 years. But
97 years,
yeah,
wow.
Yeah, but with the better taste, the markets, we're chasing a different product. And also the Wagyu cattle are very good in that they have an early sexual maturity. They're very intelligent animals, they work the hills well. We didn't want to be subject to the markets like we were. We wanted to control our own destiny. And to do that, we needed a product which really differentiated itself in the marketplace, and Wagyu really does do that. We sell to restaurants, we sell to internationally, to wholesalers. We also sell directly to mums and dads. We have an app, and you can just sort of press on the Binnie Beef app and order your beef, and your box of beef comes and gets delivered to Sydney or Melbourne or
Brisbane.
Brisbane, absolutely, we can do that too.
The hype is real, I think, with Wagyu, but why? Why is it so much different? Why is it so superior to regular beef?
Well, it is just a completely different product. It has a different omega-6 to omega-3 ratio. It melts at room temperature. The fat starts to melt at room temperature, which means that it's healthier for you. So it's about saturated fats to polyunsaturated fats, all that sort of stuff.
Well, I just want to learn everything. I want to get in there, I want to check it out, and I want you to show me A to Z about Wagyu.
Great, let's do it.
What an incredible process. It's just mind-blowing, the love and the care it takes to really what you put into these animals.
On this place, it's all spring-fed creeks and natural waters, so there's no artificial anything in the product where it's coming from. We're doing insemination, we're doing embryo transfer, we're doing natural mating, all of these sorts of things to get the right genetics. A lot more investment, a lot more cost, but then the quality of the product, it's just completely different. It's just two completely different products.
So, Liz, tell me, how did you end up out here in 7,000 acres in the middle of the Hunter Valley?
Yeah, it's away from Sydney. I met Steve at a mutual friend's 21st. He was really honest, really down-to-earth, straightforward, knew what he wanted, went for it.
Did you know he was a farmer?
I didn't know that till I travelled up here. I'm a city girl gone bush, so my concept of land and space, I didn't ask the right questions. How many head do you run? I asked, how big is the place? And when he answered, I said, how big's that? And I was quickly head over heels, to be honest.
I've had a beautiful family out here.
We've had 4 kids now, and they all are interested in agriculture. And I think for the purpose of keeping them grounded, we'd love to have each of them have a foot in agriculture. We don't want to split this place.
Yeah.
So that's something maybe Rabo can help us with.
Yeah, well.
But, they don't need a huge farm, but what it breeds in them is a sense of adventure and a boundless imagination, and there are no limitations. In farmers, I find they dream big and then they execute.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's something I want to offer them.
Oh, I can tell they're all so passionate from the moment we turned up this morning. You know, they were really involved. They really, you can tell they love the land. They love, I think, what you've built here as well. And
they're very
to me,
involved.
they seem very proud already. You know what's here.
Nice.
So it's such a beautiful part of the world. The farm's amazing. I'm just going to get out and have a little bit. It reminds me kind of where I grew up, so I would love to just have a look around. And should we try and cook something up, maybe?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to have a look and we'll see what we can find.
Great.
Well, Liz, so we have a beautiful tenderloin here.
8 to 9.
8 to 9 plus. I want to just have a look at this marbling because I've just heard so much about the genetics. And look at that. Isn't that just unbelievable?
All that intramuscular fat.
It's just
the good stuff.
perfect.
Full of omega-3 and omega-6.
Better than salmon.
Better than salmon. Superfood.
So what I wanted to cook today was, I think when people get a little bit frightened about cooking steak and even more so cooking Wagyu because it's so, you know, it's a lot more expensive, it's a bit more, you know, a special occasion. So I just wanted to show something. It doesn't have to be
really easy.
Big steak or, you know, something too over the top. If they just wanted to try, I feel like the people at home to just give them a little bit more of a easier task first and then work their way up. It's basically just if you're having a dinner party and you want to just have some snacks when people turn up. I'm just going to do some crostinis with some rolls or a baguette if you've got it, and just some grilled beef, some caramelized shallots, just a little horseradish mayo. I'm just going to slice some of this tenderloin. I was going to do them really thin, but I think a little bit thicker might be nicer so we get some good flavour on our crostinis. So I'm just going to cut a few of these guys. I'm just going to season these a little bit with some oil, just a touch. Because we know once I hit that grill, it's going to have a lot of oil is going to come out. And a little bit of salt. We can always season a bit more later. And some black pepper. Just a touch. I don't think it needs too much. I think it's got such a good flavour. What's your favourite cut and favourite way to cook?
Well, favourite, because I've got 4 kids, is just a good old roast.
Okay.
And I love a bit of topside for that. But if I really want to blow someone's skirt up, it's the tenderloin in slices a little thicker than this. Plenty of salt, and then add a bit more. And then just really, really hot, really, really fast.
Just got a little pan on here. We're going to do our caramelised shallots on there. I just got these this morning in Singleton. Just whatever you've got in the fridge or, you know, at home. But these I'm just going to cut into little, almost just the perfect vessel. Don't want too much flavour interfering with this beef. I'm just going to have our beef on there. These are really fresh, but I'm just going to give them a real simple grill as well. So just a little bit of oil on these guys. I'm just going to do a little horseradish cream to put on the crostinis. So maybe I might get you to help me with that. First, a little bit of Japanese mayo.
Okay, a little bit being tablespoon.
A little bit, kind of like I'm like with Japanese mayo, like you are with salt. A little bit.
Go again.
And then add a little bit more, and then a little bit for good luck.
Is that enough for good luck?
And then we're going to do a little bit of Worcestershire in there. This one actually just a couple of drops.
Okay.
I'm going to squeeze some lime.
Stir.
Yeah, you can give it a good mix. And then some horseradish.
Okay. All of it?
Maybe half that.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay, that looks good. I'm just going to season these little crostinis and I'm just going to cook these guys off just gently, really quick, just to get them crispy. So what do you see for the future of the farm now that you're living back out here full time, the fam's here? What do you envision for the future?
Well, inevitably, it's changed. It's had many cycles over the last 130 odd years. No doubt one of the kids will come along and innovate again. I'd say that this generation and the next will probably take Wagyu to you know, as far as we can. We're already exporting, but we'd love to export to other countries, and we'd love to expand our domestic space and our domestic footprint as well. But we'd like to make sure that we can enable each of the kids to have a foothold in agriculture. So I guess that's where Rabo steps in. We're going to need to get a bit of leverage. The reason we want that is it's a grounding for each of them. There's a capacity in agriculture to be grateful for where your food comes from, but also the sky's the limit with what you can dream of. I'd say we'll need Rabo to help us get some more farms and some more Wagyu.
And some more.
Yeah.
Some more of everything. It's a labour of love, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so my crostini's pretty much almost cooked, so I'm just going to set them out on our plate. Now I'm just going to heat up a little pan. I'm going to add a little bit of oil. It's just going to give the crostinis a little bit more flavour. Caramelised shallots, I'm just going to go in with some butter, in with some oil, some beautiful red shallots. And I'm just going to slowly cook these down. And then while they're cooking, I just slide those over. Now I'm just going to cook this beautiful tenderloin. So we're just going to go straight on. Use the pan or use the barbecue a lot on the farm?
I use the Aga. You know those really old stoves from England?
Oh, yeah.
And we always joke I'm not the greatest cook, but pretty much anything that you put in there comes out caramelised and amazing. So hot and fast is the only trick I have.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Wagyu, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Because it's got that low melt point.
Yeah.
You know, you can really get a good caramelise on it.
Yeah. You don't want to overcook it.
No.
But you really can't go wrong.
It is very forgiving.
It is, yeah.
Just going to stir these shallots, make sure they're okay. We just want them to brown a little bit. Okay, these guys, they're almost cooked. I think, actually, they're probably good for resting. Like you said, don't want to overcook, so we'll just take these guys off. And then I think that's a really approachable kind of introduction to cooking Wagyu. So now, got our crostini. Just going to bring over our shallots. They're just starting to brown, so they're looking good as well. So now we're just going to smear just a little bit of our horseradish mayo just on the bottom, and then we'll save a little dollop for the top as well.
Okay.
So we'll go on just like that. Okay, now we're going to go a little bit of our beef. When it's not so thick, we don't have to rest it for as long. So these are just little thin ones. So normally I'd say rest for 10 to 15 minutes because the cook time's been so short. You actually want to rest for about half the cook time. So these are only on there for about 4 minutes, so just rest for 2. And we're just going to go on here.
They look amazing. Do you want a dollop on top?
Yeah, and then I think maybe you could do a dollop on top, and we've also got our shallots that are cooked now as well. Just go some little nice caramelized shallots right on top of our horseradish.
You getting hungry?
Oh, I am actually. And then I'm just going to finish with some beautiful chopped chives. And that's it. Doesn't have to be overcomplicated, doesn't have to be tough.
Let it speak for itself.
Yeah, so, but I hope, you know, you've learned something new. I've learned a lot today with you and Steve, and I love what you're doing out here. It's just super fun. It's beautiful.
We love having you.
Yeah, the kids and the dogs, and it was just a really great day. And, you know, Binnie Beef, you know, Australian owned, Australian grown, for the chefs, for the home cooks as well. Yeah. I think it's just a really, really amazing product. Thank you so much for your time and showing me around today. Wagyu crostini with horseradish and chives.
Well done.
Dig in.
I will.